So for listeners who might be on the fence about going back to school, if you could go back to the first day of your master's program and give yourself one sentence of advice, what would you say and why?
Reach out to your professors. So at first, I felt like this is my first fully online program. I felt like maybe the instructors would be put out if I messaged them, or, well, I don't really want to bother this person, or, sort of had that mentality of, well, in class I would just go up to them after the lecture and talk to them, and I don't have that here. So I think it was actually your class where I finally was like, all right, I got to message this person. I have some questions for her that I'm not getting answered in other ways. And I thought, oh gosh, I know she's going to be so frustrated to hear from me. So I messaged you, and you were so warm and so open and really just excited to work with me and to give me positive, reinforcement on, oh yeah, you're doing it right now. Add in this piece, or, oh, maybe you never heard about this program. And I never would have had that experience if I hadn't broken through that barrier of anxiety about maybe this person is busy. They don't really want to hear from me. So after your class, I think I messaged every professor I had, like, hey, instructor so-and-so, I just had a question about this. And I kept waiting for them to be like, okay, that's not my problem. But no, every single time they'd message back, oh, that's a really good question. Here's, what I was thinking. And just for clarification or for extra support or for anything that really you would normally ask a person if you had an instructor in person, how would you deal with that? And it should be dealt with the same, even though you're doing an online.
Right. Yeah, you shouldn't feel like you're in a silo and all out by yourself, right? Yeah,
Yes.
you should be able to have that support. And, even if you find someone in the class that you connect with, trying to find a way to connect with that other student and maybe go through the program with them if you can. And I mentioned that before we hit record that I had a couple students that did that throughout, and I had them, I think, in 4 classes. So it was really great. Even though they were on opposite sides of the country, they found a way to connect and they found something that they had in common. So anytime you can have that human connection, it's so important across the distance, right? And in an online setting. So that's great. I love that.
I did actually had a couple people from my last few classes who I sort of saw the same names in the courses over and over. And in our capstone class, when we were talking about our next steps, a few of us were mentioning doctoral programs, and we were mentioning the same. And I was like, I bet I'm going to see you in class sometime. So that would be really fun to,
Wow.
see somebody from here
Wow.
in
That's
our
cool.
next class, wherever we end up.
Wow, that's amazing. And who knows? I mean, I never take anything off the table, right? Because I always thought, well, no, I probably won't ever teach. It's a pipe dream. And here I am teaching. I didn't think I would do a podcast, right? And here I am doing a podcast. So there's just so many. I didn't think I would be writing a book. And I mean, just that's the great thing is we always need to be open to those possibilities. So who knows? That may be a possibility down the road. I don't think we're ever too old to stop learning
I
and be
agree.
lifelong learners. Yeah, it's continuous learning. And, if we stop, then something's wrong, right? If we're, it may not have to be formal education, but, learning is always so important. Yes.
I also think it's really important not to shut the door in your own face. So when you say, well, I never thought I would be the person who wrote a book, well, don't close the door in your own face.
Right.
At least leave your door open to, maybe I am the person who writes a book. Maybe I am the person who starts a podcast, or who goes and gets another master's degree, or whatever it is. That just leave that door open.